Yes, people. What is happening? Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another debate show. We have two guests with us so far. Adam will be coming in shortly. But listen, people, it's a debate you've all been wanting. I've been getting hella DMs, I've been getting hella messages. When are you going to do this debate? Statman's been on my case all day. You know what I'm saying to you? But Statman Bays, what are you telling me, bro? You good? Are
Oh,
you
wait,
there,
I'm
bro?
muted.
I
Yeah,
can't
can you
hear
hear
him.
me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Can
good.
hear
I'm
you.
good. What are you saying?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad, man. I'm not bad, bro. Listen, we're
You're
here,
lucky
man.
today because the Hay won what, players player of the year or something, isn't it?
Listen, I can bring it up if you want, man. You know what I mean? Is it you wanted me to bring it up, man? You know what I mean? We're here, man. We're live and kicking. We're
There
live
wasn't
and
any
kicking,
there
people.
wasn't any ceremony though, right? Yeah, because they
No,
were
no, no.
against the idea of having a hosted
Mm,
show or something.
Look
mm.
at Sai,
The
like the
players
tweet as well,
appreciate,
yeah?
man. The players appreciate greatness, man. You know what I
No
mean?
comment, no comment.
Why did they pick Ronaldo? Why did they pick Ronaldo though? Why? What's wrong with Ronaldo?
Ronaldo will probably win the other
Have,
one,
have
innit?
you gone have you gone live side? Because it's showing schedule.
No, I'm live. I'm live.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm live, bro. I'm live, bro. You know what I mean? Why is it, man? Suyash, man, why is he player of the year? You know what I mean? The fans player of the year, man. What's going on?
Uh, player of the year. But
You're
yeah,
a bit
I
loud, bro.
think
You're a bit loud. Sorry, you're a bit quiet. You're crackling. Can you come in and out with your mic? Yeah, come in and out.
okay.
It's crackling a little bit.
Is it any better now?
Yeah, a little bit better now. Go on.
Okay. I think it's obvious, right? For a team that's been peppered with shots, you are going to get that bit of limelight when you're saving them.
A bit of limelight. Okay. I see it already, man. I see the trend already, people, man. The game should stay. Listen, people, it's all about the debate, people, today, man. We're here to debate. You know what I mean? That's what we do on this show. We're here to debate whether David De Gea should be Man United's first choice keeper. But you know what? Yeah, let's before we start with the slander stat, man. What is his qualities? What do you like about David De Gea? What do you think he
This
provides Man
guy says
United?
slander David De Gea, you know. You never know, I'm at back you today.
Listen, we want to hear, man. We want to hear. The street want to know. The streets want to hear what you're saying about David De Gea, because I've seen a lot online, man.
Nah, listen. Like, as much as we criticize David De Gea, there's no doubt whether people think his shot stopping is overrated or whatever, yeah, he's still a very, very good shot stopper. And I think his post shot XG minus goals conceded was his second best in the Prem, behind that Jose Sarr guy from Wolves. So no matter what, yeah, like you still have to praise him for that. And another thing I'll say with David De Gea, yeah, he talks a very good game, kind of thing, isn't it? He's one of the bigger like leaders in the dressing room, and you can kind of like in terms of De Gea's won stuff. Like you can't really chat to David De Gea in terms of that aspect, innit? Which is why I'm kind of like, I'll give him credit for that to make you happy.
Absolutely. Big up to everybody who's watching already, man. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching right now. Subscribe if you're new. Like I said to you, Friday debate show, always on a Friday, people. We debate things on United, you know what I mean? Suyash, man, what do you think, man? David De Gea, what's his qualities? What do you think? Why do you think he's been number one for so many years? Is it the fact that Man United have always needed him?
We've always been a team that's relied on keeper saving a lot more than probably other keepers in the team, like in terms of volumes. We've not played a system where where the team is playing possession-based highline football and the keeper has more to do with the ball on his feet rather than saving. So which is why he's been useful, and even this season he's been useful. So I would say, like in the game, he's got one of the best reflexes. Saves, getting up and reacting for another save, double saves, those kind of things has been his forte, and I think in that specific area he's been really good. But there are other areas. I'm sure you're going to come to those areas in a while.
I think for me, like I said to you, as a keeper, I generally think Alisson in the Premier League is better than him. I would say arguably, he's well-rounded keeper. But I look at actual keeper making saves and making consistent saves and always being there for your team and and making them for me them saves that keeper shouldn't be making. I think De Gea does it. I think a lot of people are saying Ederson is better as an overall rounded keeper. I would say so, yeah. But as a shot stopper, as a preventative keeper, you know what I mean. Big up to Adam in the chat as well. Now, as a keeper, what it's meant to do as a keeper, we're gonna get into distribution. We're gonna get into all of that coming out of your line. But as a keeper, you can't fault David De Gea because he does what you ask him to do. You know what I mean? The rest of the job, I think the defense can be culpable for a lot of the stuff that happens in terms of not having a solid keeper. You know what I mean? Solid defense, sorry. But again, as a keeper, I can't fault David De Gea as a keeper. As a modern day keeper, what we like to call it, there are deficiencies. I'm going to come over to you, Adam. David De Gea, we're just talking about his qualities so far now. What are his overall qualities that you think?
Yeah, so I'm sorry I'm late. I was rushing home from
No.
So I'm sorry, and I'm glad to see Suyash, my guy. I'm very happy to see you.
No, man. Big up.
Yeah, going back to De Gea, I think it's shot stopping. I think is one of the best we've ever seen when it comes to making saves. But then again, that's not really the question. Like, you're looking for attributes that suit the whole team, and when we had like defense very, very close to the keeper, and we were not playing with the ball, he helped us and he saved us many, many times. But then again, now I think we're moving in another direction, and I think at some point it will become very, very problematic with De Gea. I think very, very soon we will have to see, like, we will come to the evidence, like, yeah, we need someone that can actually play as a center half almost. So just to allow the other center half to play as midfielders, and then everything goes up, just up a level on the pitch. So maybe something can be done with De Gea. Maybe Ten Hag will improve him or something. But it wouldn't surprise me if it gets next season and then we are in talks for a goalkeeper the season after. Wouldn't surprise me.
Do you think his flaws are quite open there now? Do you think a lot of people give him too much criticism because of the fact that he's not a modern day goalkeeper? He didn't actually start as a modern day goalkeeper. He came in the old era. You know what I mean? Of the 2009, 10, he came around then. When you're looking at modern day keeping now, it's far from that. But do you think he gets unworthy or kind of unjustified criticism because he isn't that modern day keeper anyway? What do you think?
You know what? The thing is, like 2 seasons ago, or maybe 3, probably 2 seasons ago, I was on De Gea's neck every week. Every week. I was like very, very much on his case. But ever since, like Rashford, Maguire, and Bruno just took the spotlight. McTominay, they just took it from him. So I don't have that much energy to give to De Gea. So it's not that I think the criticism is undeserved. It's just like it just shifted focus. We have bigger problems in those players. Like I think David De Gea is better as a ball-playing goalkeeper than McTominay is as a midfielder, and then Maguire half. You like everything being relative. I think he's better than them. Like relative to their own position on the pitch. So yeah, I don't think it's undeserved because personally I was on his case. But yes, we would look at what we have in the team and look at the good players that are leaving as well. So at least you have someone that can make saves. At least.
So yeah, Chef, I'm gonna talk to you next. Do you think he could improve under Ten Hag?
It's difficult, there are certain areas like he can ask him to be in better positions. I think that can be instructed, but being natural on the ball, that's something that you cannot coach. There is very little evidence in this sport that someone can be so good at it so late whilst being pretty average at it almost throughout their career. So unless Ten Hag has some magical wand, I don't know, he can turn that around. But I feel like you have to be natural at it. I just wanted to go back to the point you made about Ederson, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Ederson is a fair comparison because he himself is a poor shot stopper. But Pep kind of gets away with it because he almost plays him like an outfielder. And to be fair, like if we have to be really critical, Ederson has cost them big games. Like he's come out when he shouldn't, and he's led in goals. So there are disadvantages to a modern goalkeeper as well. But I feel you need to be kind of like average at everything and maybe really good at shot stopping. That's what I think would be the perfect sort of goalkeeper. Alisson is like a really rare breed. Manuel Neuer is like a rare breed. You will not find goalkeepers so complete like them too. But you have to get as close to them as possible. And if AC Milan can do it, and everyone's forgotten about Donnarumma, then I think we should be looking into the market as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring Statman into it here. What's a modern day goalkeeper? What do you see as a modern day goalkeeper, Statman? You know what I mean? You're the king of modern day keeping. What do you see as a modern day keeper? What do you look for in a modern day keeper?
I think it's just a bit of everything. Like I've said this, in my eyes, I don't think Robert Sanchez is a better shot stopper than David De Gea in it. But when I look at someone like Robert Sanchez, he just has a bit of everything in terms of he can come out playing crosses. Is he like Edison level on his feet? The answer is no, but he's still a competent on his feet kind of thing, isn't it? That's when I talk about modern founding keepers kind of thing. And that's pretty much it. And that's one thing I think David De Gea lacks because, like we said it, in terms of shot stopping, fair play. The rest of his game is not even like a 5 out of 10 kind of thing. In terms of David De Gea coming out of crosses, it's literally like a 1 or 2 out of 10. And that's where my problem is with David De Gea. And like the numbers kind of prove it in terms of, I'm pretty sure in terms of like crosses stopped.
Have you got his numbers anywhere up? Like, is there anywhere I can check his numbers in terms of, coming out or whatever? Have you got a link to send?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. In terms of crosses
send it
stopped,
in the private chat, yeah.
In terms of crosses stopped, we are the worst side at that in terms of for keepers kind of thing, isn't it?
I think
that's where I have a problem.
The thing is with him, Adam, is that he doesn't come out from his net. You know what I mean? Someone's asking for it here. I've been saying for the longest, Man United need a new keeper that can relieve the pressure at the back with calm passing when the others press high. The only problem is though, we're asking for him to do that, but then again, you don't have a stable defense. When you look at David De Gea, who he is, people blame Paul Pogba, and we always talk about Paul Pogba. Has he been mistreated in the midfield, and have we got the best out of Paul Pogba? But have we really got the best out of David De Gea? You know what I mean? When we have given him a stable partnership in centre backs, we had Rio Ferdinand and Vidic towards the end of his career. Do you think we've ever given a stable centre back pairship? Look at Alisson, Van Dijk, and Matip. You're looking at Man City, Diaz and Stones, stable centre back, stable back four. Everybody knows their back four. Man United is back four every week changes throughout his whole career when you actually deep it. Do you reckon that's a kind of a problem? You're on mute. Let me take you off mute. You're on mute, brother. You're on mute. Yeah.
No, excuse me. I think you're making a valid point, and I hear what you're saying, but I think that goes both ways, that relationship between goalkeepers and centre-back pairings. I think just as much David De Gea doesn't improve his centre-halves as much as Romero would, for example. I think, and one of the main things I use to judge a player is how that player, wherever he plays on the pitch, centre-half, midfield player, forward, how do they improve the players around them? This is why I rate, for example, someone like Matic so highly, someone like Mata so high. This is why I like Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Jadon Sancho. The one of the main reasons why I really, really appreciate those players is not only because of their personal attributes and quality, it's because how they make the people around them better. And I think for a goalkeeper, that has got to be one of the most important things. How can you improve your centre-back pair? It's not a secret that the last 2 trophies we won, we had Romero in goal. And it's not a secret that when we go in cup competitions, quite like towards the semi-finals and finals, we can see the same goals and always the same low cross. And it has, if you are, and you won't find someone that wants to slander Maguire and Lindelof as much as I do. Like, I am that guy that really wants to give it to him. But I have to cut him some slack as well, because if you are those two, and you know that David De Gea is not coming out of his box, he's just not leaving his net, well, you are going to get deeper. You are going to create more space between you and the players in front of you, and it just gets like a domino effect. The whole team is dysfunctional, and I think De Gea has a role to play in that. I really, really do.
Yeah, Statman. Before I come to you, Suyash, Statman, do you want to explain to the people like what we're seeing here now? You know what I mean? Just give the people what it means one by one, if you could do, bro.
So post-shot XGs, in my eyes, like minus goals conceded, is probably at the most, like probably the best that in terms of actual shot stopping you're going to see in it. So basically, David De Gea has a positive number of plus 0.12 in it, which suggests he has above average ability to stop shots, which is obviously good. if you're looking at the bottom, like the main three at the bottom, look down to crosses stopped.
Yeah.
I think I say it self-explanatory in terms of how many crosses he stops.
Yeah. Again, yeah, that for me is a very, very bad area. Defensive actions outside the penalty area as well. Is that
Bottom
coming out
one is
from
the
his
average
box?
distance from goal.
Yeah.
What, say that again?
Yeah, the bottom one here. Let me bring in Suyash. What do you get from the here the stats here? What can you gather from the stats?
Yeah. I don't want to brag, but I'm like pretty good at this. If you just scroll above, there is an option of you can click.
Which one do you want to click?
There is an option to click the complete report. That'll give you like some more.
Okay,
you can click the option
one,
that says view complete scouting.
Yeah.
And then also on the left hand side, like for those that are new, those actions explain what those metrics mean. So Statman is pretty good at it. But for those that don't use it frequently, it's a really good thing. It's for free as well. That's a great bit of information that these guys are giving.
Yeah.
So
Pele kick saves. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's
So if you look at his saves, because of his volumes, he looks really good. Like I said, because I was saying earlier, because of the number of times he gets called upon in a game, we see the value in it. But when you look at the whole season and the percent of saves he's just like 2% above Ederson. Like I've done a bit of comparison. My numbers may not be that accurate because it's just off memory. And Jose Sa is like 10% or 12% higher than David De Gea. So we understand the gap is that big between them. So even his shot stopping of late has declined. It's not the same that it used to be. Even this season, if you remember, there were moments when the ball has hit his hand and it has still gone inside. He could have done much better. Like there are some goalkeepers, their hands appear really big. If you look at David De Gea's frame, his hands, they do not appear as big as they should be. Like, or it's just something to do with how you look at that person. Maybe the strikers, they see the goalkeeper the same way. Someone that's big, someone that's got big hands.
Yeah, true.
It also comes with confidence, I guess.
Do you know the saves here? The Adam, the saves here, the save percentage. I don't know if you've seen that just then. 1 second. The save percentage here is shot on target, 76% there. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, for me, shot on targets that I think as well, I don't know how clear and cut they are, but ones that you look like they're going in, they're very, very much high. That for me, that's the pinnacle of his career. His clean sheet percentage is quite low, but again, that's down to Man United.
Yeah.
I want to come here, Statman. Where's the bit where his pass completion? Yeah, not great as well, is it? You know what I mean? When you look at it, 38% for a keeper, it's not great, Adam, is it? And that's the key issue, isn't it? When he's playing out from the back, it's not great, is he?
Yeah, and then again, you could also blame the team for the players, how they position themselves and how they make themselves available to receive the ball. But it's not only the goalkeeper making a back pass. Is McTominay hiding? Is all the players covered? Are there options? Is there any movement in the midfield? So this is why I say stats, they need context. They are very, very difficult to understand, like just on their own like that. But we know it. Like we know De Gea. We know he's not the greatest at making passes, at like clearing the ball, coming out. So all of those things, they are backed up by what we see actually, to some extent at least.
And that's the thing though, Statman, isn't it? You know what I mean? A lot of people complain about his distribution. You know what I mean? I think with distribution, what I always stress with distribution, it depends on the philosophy of the manager. If you play out from the back, you need it. It's paramount. But if a team doesn't play out from the back and we don't really have centre-backs that are comfortable on the ball, or i.e., every time they get the ball, the crowd are all over them, like Old Trafford. Maguire is good on the ball, but the crowd are on top of him. Varane isn't good on the ball. Lindelof doesn't make aggressive passes. He doesn't make penetrative passes. It's almost as if it's side to side. He doesn't get that killer pass. Does it not depend on the philosophy of the team? You know what I mean? For a keeper to be distributed on the back. There's certain other teams that can do that. If you play 5 at the back, the centre-backs split apart, so you're going to have to pass the centre-backs, pass it forward. Then the teams press onto them. So isn't it about the team kind of profile? I don't understand why a lot of people want that on David De Gea when the team profile isn't to play out from the back.
Yeah, I hear that. And that's why I think more of the criticism on David De Gea is going to be next year kind of thing, isn't it? In terms of, say we have a better defensive record, you're going to be relying on less on David De Gea's shot-stopping abilities. The rest of his game is going to become more into kind of lines kind of thing, because we're going to see more of him passing out from the back. That's why it's kind of like this season we can kind of say, you know what, you can blame the team all you want here, but next season, listen, all eyes on David De Gea in terms of that role, because I think he has a year left on his contract. I'm guessing United are probably going to give him another contract.
Yeah, they will.
But
They
let's
will.
see what happens, isn't it?
They will give him another contract. Someone's asking here, why delay it till next year, Statman? Why not get a keeper now? Why not set the standards now? Is it just too much to fix too soon? You know what I mean?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, as much as I criticize David here, like we need other position kind of thing in it. I don't think a goalkeeper is going to be a priority. If we could get a goalkeeper for like 20, 30 million, I would. But I know United not.
Yeah. So yeah, someone's asking here, playing out from the back relies more on the back line rather than the goalie, in my opinion. Do you disagree with that one?
I disagree, because it is to do with your centre backs as well as your goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is like the first point of your build-up, so he's also important. Even in that stat that he was showing, that graph you were showing earlier. So David De Gea for am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. So even for passes attempted, like he was at 1%. He's basically at the bottom percent in the whole of Europe. Like, so it actually means he's 99% of goalkeepers are better than him in terms of, or have more pass attempted than him. It clearly shows he's not comfortable. One, the other aspect is we are not using him as much, which is probably to do with point number one, because he's not comfortable. And there are other things like we don't keep as much possession, so maybe he doesn't have the ball as much. So there are loads of things. It's just too much to ask for him to improve. I feel with 1 year left, it is a valid question. I would have said it is not a priority. I would still say it's not a priority this year.
Yeah.
But we have to be really careful before we extend his contract, because no one is buying him for 350k or something wages per week.
No.
And if you look at top clubs in Europe, they're not really looking for a keeper. So I don't think smaller teams can really afford to buy him or will take that risk of buying him. Especially when you look at it's only just one aspect that he gives in the game.
Absolutely. Gerard's asking, shame on you, Said. Sorry, but how is this even a debate? Why would there be a club without De Gea? The goalkeeper is least of our worries now. Defense and midfield is pure trash. Adam, you know what I mean? Like I said, this is a debate show, Gerard, so we tackle every issue at the club. And David De Gea caused a lot of debate, so that's why we're discussing him, Adam. He does cause a lot of debate, you know what I mean? And one of them is coming out from his back. One of them is distribution. But as a modern day keeper, you know what I mean, we are looking for more from David De Gea. Yeah. Is there a reason that Ten Hag doesn't want him? Do you reckon? Because a lot of people say Onana isn't great with his feet, and it's not kind of a keeper that can play out from the back and whatnot. A lot of people say that, but in terms of David De Gea, do you think Ten Hag will see his flaws sooner rather than later?
Yeah.
You know, I remember there was a period where Van Gaal dropped De Gea for Romero. I don't know if you remember that time, but he dropped it for a couple of games.
I wanted Romero to be our number one until we saw that thing, to be honest. I was really pretty much against Romero leaving the club. Like, I wanted Romero to be the first keeper and then Henderson second goalkeeper until we get someone better than both. This was my plan, to be honest. But Ten Hag will very quickly see what are the problems in. It's more than just De Gea. Like, he will get the players on the pitch first. Like, probably Dalot will be playing. I can't believe Wan-Bissaka will be playing. And if we don't get a right back, let's say Varane and Timber and Luke Shaw, for example, they will start to play. Like, they will train, and then at some point the weaknesses will. This was my problem with Ole is since we don't have a structure, we don't have a plan, we don't have a real clear thinking about how to play football. It's not even easy to know where are the problems. But when you have a direction, like a clear plan, and you know what players you want and where do you want them and how you want them to play, it becomes quite easy to know, okay, well, this is not going to cut it. This player is actually very good. This one is a problem. So if he gets his back line and he knows them very well and he got the player he wants, it will be very easy to know that De Gea is the problem. if he is the problem, like maybe we're all wrong. Maybe we don't know nothing, and De Gea will all of a sudden become like a very, very good goalkeeper playing with the ball. But I doubt it. But once the elements are starting to take place, it just get easier to know what are the actual issues, like the real problems. And I think De Gea, to be honest, I don't think he's going to make it. Like for next season, yeah, sure, he's going to play. But after that, like I said, not so sure. Not so sure.
You know, Statman, you know what I mean? Next season will be a key season in terms of his progression. But you gotta make sure you have a plan after. You know what I mean? There's modern day keepers out there. Luis Enrique, what was his kind of reasoning for dropping him? You know what I mean? Obviously, you've seen you know, the Brighton keeper, the one from, you know, Brentford. They're all being kind of, you know, touted as better than him. The one for Villarreal. What was the reasons why David De Gea was dropped?
I'll be honest, I do think it's kind of political at the same time with Spain as well, isn't it? But I remember I was watching the Spain-Albania game, I think last international break, innit? And the commentator said something where apparently Spain have like 7 categories in terms of how they choose their keepers. And David De Gea ranked in terms of like 54% in terms of what they were looking for in a keeper. And I think David Raya at that time was around 81%. And I think those categories were like in terms of ball playing, shot stopping. So all of that considered, that's where David De Gea ranked. And that's why I think someone like David Raya from Brentford gets picked over him.
Yeah. Big up to David
Minas in terms of ball playing from the back.
Yeah. Big up to David. Big up to Saeed and the panel. I think your biggest issue is midfield. McTominay and Fred aren't good enough and need upgraded. You need a CDM. Yeah, man. We will discuss that, man. That'll be part of the debate show, man. So big up to you, bro. I appreciate, you know, you coming in. When do you think the downfall was of David De Gea? If you know, a lot of people say David De Gea hasn't been the same since 2018. Statman. When do you think the downfall was of David De Gea?
You know what's mad? Yeah, I wouldn't even necessarily say like there's been like a clear downfall in my eyes. It just football's moved on. What we're seeing from other keepers, David De Gea just doesn't have, and he's not. I wouldn't say necessarily he's like learning kind of thing. And in terms of Hugo Lloris, in my eyes, is not a modern day keeper, but I can kind of see him learning to become that, even though I don't think he's the best at it. I don't think I've seen a clear progression in David De Gea in terms of ball playing ability coming out for crosses in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think for me, what gets overlooked, Suyash, is the fact that, you know, like I said to you, I don't think Man United have that plan of what to do, the idea and what they want to play. I think Ten Hag coming now, I think it's perfect for everyone. For everyone, if you're a De Gea fan or you're not a De Gea fan, I think it's clear for everyone to kind of see where the deficiencies are in everyone. And I think David De Gea will be the first one. The Ten Hag system, for what you can gather, you know what I mean, will it help or will it kind of, you know, be of a kind of a, I don't know, of a bad thing for David De Gea? What do you think, bro, in terms of Ten Hag system, Siyash? You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah. So you mentioned about Luis Enrique is another possession-based manager. The team is going to keep the ball more. So when your center backs are under pressure, it's about having numerical advantage. You'd rather have 2-3 players at the back than have just 2. So your goalkeeper actually becomes that third player for you in a possession-based system, and you are comfortable going back to him, recycling the ball. In our situation, we have seen the center backs give the ball. Center backs themselves are nervous. They give the ball to a nervous goalkeeper. It ends up back into the opposition so quickly, like whilst they're in a good position to attack. It's okay if the ball is 50-50 bad, but passing straight right back to them, it's like they don't have to take those additional touches. They just come back right immediately. And when we went back to those stats, like for numbers, like in terms of passes, he's one of the lowest in Europe. And on the contrary, in Champions League, they were putting these numbers where, what's his name? Pass rate. Like he was number 1 or 2 for passes attempted from the back or something. So there's like a huge difference. There's like a huge gulf between them. And this is just distribution. Like even in terms of keeping, like Statman was saying earlier, there are certain situations where you cannot just stay on the line. Let's take sweeping out of it. Sweeping is still 50-50. Some keepers are poor at it. They rush, they get beaten, and players, score into an empty net. But there are situations where the ball is hanging in the air. You just have to catch it, because having a hand, you are at an advantage. You can catch the ball at 10 feet or even higher, but a center back cannot get to it. So if you're waiting, you're like a sitting duck. The goal is so big, you are going to concede in that situation if you're just standing on the line. So even in terms of just the goalkeeper, just the goalkeeping aspect, saving or reflex saving is not the only thing. There are things that you have to do. And going back to the 10 system, like Adam was saying, your defense becomes like your midfield. They are playing on the halfway line. And if in that situation, imagine your goalkeeper is as far as back as his post, then there is so much area for the opposition to send a through ball in or send a long ball in. If you look at top keepers, they are standing outside their area, and it doesn't look spectacular, but when the ball comes, they're already at an advantage. They're ahead. They're just able to chest it down or take a touch and give it back to the center back or just head it out easily. But with David De Gea, is literally waiting for the center back to recover always. I understand center back needs to do that, but there are situations where goalkeeper help you out. Like Alisson helps out his defense a lot. Edison, even though he's a poor shot stopper, the other day he bailed Fernandinho out for a poor pass at the back. There are situations where you have to put pressure on the center forward end, and they will not do good, which is something that David De Gea doesn't do.
Yeah, absolutely. Jose is coming here with this comment here. He talks about commanding your box is fundamental. Is that for you as well, a key aspect of a keeper, commanding your box? I'm not gonna lie to you, he doesn't really command his box, and obviously our defense isn't. We don't really have much leaders. I don't think we've got players that can really command that box as well. Is that an issue for you as well that we need to sort out, or maybe Ten Hag needs to have that word with David De Gea?
To me, Said, or?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. He's not commanding his box nowhere near good enough, to be honest, and it's a problem. We are very poor on set pieces. We concede set pieces and we don't score set pieces. So that means there is a massive problem there, big problem, and it just you can't rely on the defense. So at least you would love to have a goalkeeper that is commanding. I don't trust the center backs we have, except for Varane. And then you can't rely on only one guy. And then Eric Bailly doesn't play, but Eric Bailly is actually aggressive. He will get in. He will hurt the attackers. He will hurt the other players. Because at the end of the day, it's a physical sport as well. And we don't have that little, Fellaini presence, he's all knees and elbows. We need someone to get in that will let the other players know that they're there. And, for example, when you go on a corner, for example, and Pickford is the keeper, well, you're thinking about it twice, don't you? Because that guy is reckless and he's the goalkeeper, and goalkeepers are actually more protected than outfield players. The referee tends to go for the goalkeeper more than they are going to go for the strikers or for midfield players, for example. So it's a big problem. We don't have authority on the pitch, actually at no level. No one is commanding apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's a 37 guy. He's 37 years of age. So you can't ask Cristiano Ronaldo to be the captain, to be the goal scorer, to be everything. That is not going to happen. So at least you need someone. You either want your goalkeeper to be very strong and very present and there, or to be a very calming, very good presence at the back that just appeases and relaxes the defense, like Van der Sar was, for example. You need one of the two. You need either
presence,
strong authority, or someone that just calming, smooth, you feel relaxed with, and De Gea doesn't give us either of those things.
Yeah, man. Big up to everybody who's still watching, by the way. I know it's a Friday night, so big up to everybody who's still here. Please, guys, if you're watching, smash that like button. It's free. And like I said to you, we're giving you content, so that's the least you can do, people. Statman, when you think about the keepers now as well, there's competition now, man. You know what I mean? You're looking at keepers now, they've got decent backups, they've got Spanish teams looking good. Every team now, keepers are improving now. There's before you would say Neuer, you would say Casillas. You knew who the best ones were now. Now I can look at around now. You can find most keepers are good now. You don't have to spend hundreds of millions. You're looking at the Oblak. He was like 100 and something million touted at one point, but now he's not the same Oblak. But again, you don't really need to have that amazing keeper. You can merge them in. You know what I mean? So
You look at someone like Robert Sanchez. I think he's been linked with a move away from Brighton for like 25 mil. I think he was linked with Leicester a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like that's not too expensive. And if people want to keep David here for another year, like Robert Sanchez in as an understudy for David here for a year.
Yeah.
Like that settling in period, and then maybe Robert Sanchez could become the number one next year, and obviously David De's contract finishes.
Yeah.
So that would be like the ideal situation for me. Like someone like Mike Maignan, I think is quality. I think he's one of the best keepers in the world, but AC Milan just won the league in it, and he only signed last year. So I think that would be a difficult move. But Robert Sanchez, bargain. Even David Raya, I'll be honest, I don't think he will cost that much either from Brentford.
Yeah, it's true, man. The standards have gone up, Suyash. You know what I mean? Which is obviously making David De Gea look like, you know, not a modern day keeper. Do you think that's been the kind of struggle that David De Gea's faced? The fact that there's so many modern day keepers out there that are, you know what I mean, they don't have the craziest names about and the sexiest names, but they're producing right now, you know? Are you there, Suyash? Can you hear me, Suyash?
Sorry, there was
Yeah,
lag. I didn't catch that question.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Maybe you can go to Adam. I'll try to get back in again.
Okay. Yeah, do you think, Adam, that, you know, when you look at the modern day keepers now, there's so many great keepers now out and about, you know, and now everybody's looking for David De Gea to compete with that now when he was maybe part of the other era of keepers coming in. Do you reckon that competition now and the fact the fans are getting impatient now? They just want a modern day keeper. A lot of people want modern day keepers. You know, they want it. They want everyone that's complete.
You know what my problem is with the goalkeeping thing, to be honest, is I think it's one of those positions that the more we talk about the goalkeeper, the more it highlights that we have a problem in the team. Like, if we talk about De Gea's save and Bruno's goal so much, just tells you the whole team is dysfunctional. Like, there are some positions I don't want to talk about our goalkeepers making save. Like, people said De Gea being our savior and this and that for those years. It just tells you the state of the club, really. Just been a very bad team if we have to talk about our goalkeeper making save. The only times I want to talk about our goalkeeper making save is when they come clutch, like Thibaut Courtois did in the Champions League final. Like, once in a while, he gets that performance and you say, you know what, without our keeper, we wouldn't have got it. Like, it just he got us there today. And that's my problem. Like, it really, really is, because like Suyash said and like Statman said, I just want a goalkeeper that is all right at almost everything, but allows the team to play. That's basically what I want for my goalkeeper. I don't want, like, if we had a goalkeeper, for example, I think, for example, if you had a midfielder that scored less goals than Bruno, but just played much better, I don't think we would be talking about the player's goal. I just think we'd be talking about the team as a whole functioning way better. And I think it's a bit of the same thing with the goalkeeper. Like, I don't really mind the next goalkeeper. Like, I don't know them, to be honest. Like, I don't know the names out there really. But still, like, the Mendy at Chelsea, we didn't know him. And all of a sudden, he's just turned out to be a very, very good goalkeeper. He's all right at everything, above average at everything, to be honest, because I think he's class. But still, it just, to talk about the goalkeeper that much, it just, to me, I can't give it full focus, because to me it means, okay, the defense is not sorted, the midfield is not sorted, everything is not sorted. David De Gea has been a superstar with a big contract because our team was dead, basically. And it just happened that he's very good at making saves when he's close to his box, like when he's in his net. And it just happened to highlight his strength. But it's not a good thing, is it?
Yeah, that's a good point. And if you look at it as well, also, you know, Suyash, when you look at the fact that, you know, someone's asking about the fullbacks issue, you know, that we haven't sorted out the fullback side. Do you think the fullbacks help the game? I don't think they give him options and make him kick long. Do you think the fullback area is a problem as well in terms of having modern day fullbacks like Kyle Walker and Cancelo who make that space to go and give a defender some room to kind of, you know, keeper to give that room to say, you know what, if you go and make them positions, I can find you. When I always think with Man United, they always hurdle up together and don't give a keeper enough, you know, time and space to make that pass.
I feel Luke Shaw isn't that bad of an option on the left hand side. He's able to take the ball and literally used to play from the left hand side. I do understand with 2 years of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, your goalkeeper cannot really trust a right back like that. So I do understand that issue on the right-hand side. But with Luke Shaw, and to be fair, our centre backs are okay at ball playing. You could say Lindelof is also is better than the other two. There are players that they are comfortable. Midfield is not there. Adam mentioned Fellaini. There is that option up front that physical presence is missing to someone you can just target the ball to and they will bring it down for the rest of them. So those sort of options are not there. It's kind of 50-50, but we cannot say it's absolutely not there. Like I said, you can still go to your centre backs. You can go to your left back. Those options are still there. It's just that his accuracy is not that great. And about your point on at club level, like at club level, we've never had a philosophy where you needed a goalkeeper to be that. We've always had philosophies based on coaches, which has been a problem. So we've had low block manager, we've had possession-based manager, we've had a counter-attacking manager, and now we've again come back to a possession-based manager after Van Gaal. So that's why the requirements have not been there, and that's why David De Gea did not seem as a problem as such. In fact, he was a savior for a large period of that time. But when you want to play better, then not necessarily it becomes like. If I have to give you an example, before Donnarumma had gone, AC Milan would be like, he should not go. Like, he's the best. He's got a great presence about him. Fast forward a year, they've got Mike Maignan. Now they don't mind if Reds or not. Like, they have absolutely forgotten. It's like Thanos has clicked and they've forgotten who Donnarumma is. And they're absolutely fine with Mike Maignan because he was Ligue 1 keeper of the year. Now he's Serie A keeper of the year. So it's just that we are not looking at such keepers. Chelsea found Mendy from Ligue 1 as well. I think we've just not paid attention, and I'll hold my hand as well. Because of our outfield issues, even I have not looked at goalkeeping so much. But when you're conceding 56 goals, you have to consider that it mathematically is impossible that a goalkeeper is not responsible for 56 of the goals. There has to be some percent of goals that he could have prevented. That's all I'm saying.
When you look at it, Henderson came and he failed to start man. You know what I mean? He tried to come in and get number one. Is there a feeling as well that because David De Gea is like a fan's favorite? You know what I mean? It's difficult to kind of to get him overthrown. You know what I mean? It's one of them situations of a new keeper comes in, he makes mistakes. Everyone's like, well, David De Gea would not have made the mistakes. Obviously we would give him patience. You got to give time to a keeper, but it's almost a lot of people don't want to think about what could come, and they don't want to kind of leave the present right now and just leave it and be like, what, man? What if a keeper comes in and he doesn't hit the ground running? Remember Barthez after Schmeichel didn't go well. We ended up getting Tom Carroll. We ended up getting the keeper from Tim Howard. Until we found, funny enough, Van der Sar, and Van der Sar did well, and then we come across. Ferguson was very, very clever. He literally, kind of looked at David De Gea as the next one. Settled in, obviously, first year did well. But if you look at it, though, to get a keeper to settle in, the fans' favourite, the pressure of being number one, it's not easy, man. So do you think that pressure of Man United just not wanting to get to that position so soon, is that a hindrance as well to kind of not finding out, a better keeper?
Yeah, but sometimes the grass is greener on the other side. Like,
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to take that risk, innit? Like,
yeah.
In my eyes, every signing is a risk. Every signing, no matter what position it is. In my eyes, I see David De Gea as a partial issue. And why not just take the risk on a new signing? Like, he's not gonna have this. He might be the same as David De Gea. He might be worse. He might be better. You never know. Only time can tell, innit? But one thing I want to say as well. When people say without De Gea's saves or without Ronaldo's goals, where would we be? Kind of thing. We'll be in a relegation battle. That's not how football works.
No, that's not.
You take away David De Gea, we still have another keeper in net. You take Ronaldo up top. So, like, people kind of just need to relax when you use that ideology kind of thing to praise De Gea or praise Ronaldo kind of thing, innit?
It's true. It's true. I think, what? It's true, man. I think, like I said to you, I just want the respect from David De Gea that, I feel like a lot of keepers put the blame on him. A lot of, obviously, fans put the blame on him for everything, and they think that a modern-day keeper is the solution. I generally don't think. You've got to also be able to save as well. You've got to be able to, when it matters the most, be there for Man United. Because at this time, we are dysfunctional. We still have a weak midfield. Our team isn't complete yet. You know what I mean? So before we get to that situation, David De Gea still, for me, needs a lot of respect. But again, we have to move on with the times. And for me, like I said to you, Adam, it's going to be difficult to find that next keeper when, a lot of times Man United have been told to spend this amount of money. We don't really kind of look forward. You know what I mean? Looking at striker options now, we're looking at Nunes. We're not really looking forward. We haven't replaced Van Persie. We haven't really replaced Vidic and Ferdinand. We haven't replaced, the right back situation for so many years. United needs, if they're going to replace David De Gea, they have to be ready and find the correct one. Can't just go out there and just say, yeah, this guy, modern day keeper. Hopefully the new recruitment team can look ahead and think, you know what, 1 year of David De Gea next season, and then we're going to look to improve and bring someone else in.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the problem we have with our structure and the board and the people in charge is we have a very, very vicious combo in incompetence and pride, ego-ish. Like those people, they don't know what they're doing, but they are actually pride, and they can't admit that they made a mistake. So it just keeps like getting heavier and heavier every time. Like they made a mistake, Man City, with Claudio Bravo, and then they just admit it, and it's fine. We move to the next one, and you get the other goalkeeper. And Chelsea, the same thing with Kepa, and then they got Mendy, and now Mendy is playing. But those teams are competent, and when you are competent, it's easier to admit a mistake. But when you are so bad, like Manchester United have been and are still, to be honest, you make a mistake and you don't want people to know that you're incompetent, so you keep persisting with it and you just spin and all of the things we know the club does. And I think that's the problem. We need to admit that Ole was a mistake. So by default, Henderson was a mistake. The big contract to De Gea was a mistake, and that's fine. It's okay. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a mistake. I think now they are admitting it because I think they are waiting for proposals, but you could wait very long for that, to be honest. And they're still not admitting the mistakes they made, and this is the problem we have. Like, just get on with it. Get on with it. McTominay is not the next Roy Keane. Fine, go and get the players you want to, and you need to go. We need to remove all of the team and get we need like 57 new players, and that includes the goalkeepers, if we're being honest here. And this is my problem. Like, I know that if, for example, let's suppose by some miracle, David De Gea becomes, or even a bigger miracle, for example, Maguire next season becomes top class. Let's suppose. I will have to admit I was wrong. But that doesn't bother me because I'm being honest all the time. So if Maguire is top 5 centre-half in the league next season, which I doubt very much, let's face it, I will just say, you know what? Fair play to the man. Fair play. And they need to do the same thing with the rest of the teams. And that includes De Gea as well. It's really important. You cannot move forward if you're not honest with yourselves. You can't be honest with other people by default. Like, because you're not getting to the actual real truth. And those people at board level, they are not being honest with themselves. So they are lying to Bailly on his contract. They are lying to Dalot. They are lying to all of those players. They are lying to Paul Pogba and to agents. They are lying to Cristiano Ronaldo and David De Gea. And all of a sudden, we get like this mess that we have at the moment, which is it's very unhealthy. It's bad. It's very, very bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Soleil BJ says Edison was flopping when City needed him. Well, listen, they've won the title, mate. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy though when you think about it. The last winning goalkeeper, you know what I mean, to win the title was David De Gea in his second season. You know what I mean? Which is mad to think, man. You know what I mean? When you look at who would be your ideal replacement for David De Gea, I'm just gonna go one by one. So Yash, let's go with you. Who do you look at as a next replacement? Let me know in the comments who do you want after David De Gea? Who's your ideal goalkeeper?
Like, it's really difficult to find a gem because you really have to watch every team in every league. But if I look at just the few keepers, if he could sign Maignan from AC Milan, that is a great deal. If you could sign Sanchez from Brighton, if you could sign Jose Sa from Wolves, I think those guys would still be an upgrade on David De Gea. And for less than half the wages, to be fair. And we don't consider wages as much, but they amount to a lot for a club's expenses, especially when your goalkeeper is your second most or your second highest earner.
What are you thinking, Statman?
Mike Maignan, Robert Sanchez, and David Raya, main three.
I think mainly, I think with AC Milan now starting to rise up, that might be a difficult one.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Robert's
something I
kind
don't think can happen in it. But I'm just saying, like, that will kind of be the dream keeper.
in terms of do you think Ten Hag will like them as well in terms of what they can bring? Do you reckon Ten Hag can bring them? I'm waiting to see Ten Hag's system in full effect, because I always think with Man United you've always got to compromise that, man. You can't always play the football you want to play. You know what I mean? Like I said, this football club, it has a habit, it has a way. People get involved, journalists get involved, stat man. You know what I mean? So we have to see what Ten Hag's gonna do in terms of keepers. Does he want to keep it comfortable? Do you think Ten Hag will say, you know what, I've got to keep the fans on side. He's a fan favorite. I've got to keep him in. Or do we need that strong manager to come in and say, you know what, David De Gea, I think it's time for you to sit out now?
I think the first season, I think David De Gea will start in it just because we have so many other issues. The year after, that's when I'm going to be like, let's see if the club's really changed in terms of their recruitment strategy, in terms of contracts. Let's see if David De Gea does get a new contract, how long he's going to be, kind of thing. That's
Do you reckon he'll get a new contract? Do you reckon he'll get a new contract?
Yeah, but I'll be interested to see how many years he gets, kind of thing.
You would ideally think that it would be 2 years, Adam, that they would give him. You know what I mean? Two more years, and then kind of 33, 34, because he's 31 now. So you would say another 2 years on top of his current deal. You would say that they would move him on. I don't see another club coming for him. I genuinely don't. I don't think another club comes to him now. He had his moment for Real Madrid. You know what I mean? When the fax machine broke. But like I said to you, someone's saying here, you have to bake the cake before putting the cream on.
Wait,
top.
Said, why do you think another club don't come for him? You think?
I just think. No, I don't know. I think every club's got stable ways of coming. I think they've got their stable ways of playing football. I think at Man United, you might look at David De Gea and think, yeah, he's a brilliant keeper. But the way teams have their own philosophies, I don't think they would come in for David De Gea. That's just my own opinion. But again, like I said to you, everybody knows what David De Gea's qualities are. But every other team, Adam, has their philosophy. With Man United, it's just that they've got David De Gea there because they need him. Cristiano Ronaldo, they need him. It's almost as if they need David De Gea. David De Gea doesn't really need Man United. He could maybe go and play his career elsewhere, but Man United are keeping on to him. They've given him his wages. They've kept him happy. You know what I mean? They've tried to give him the captaincy role. They've tried to do certain things. They say to him, come out and give the media press and whatnot. So they try and make him feel like he's the superstar, innit? When you look at United, he's one of the main superstars.
Yeah, and I don't like that, to be honest. It just makes me feel like we are a little insecure club. I don't like it. I don't like it when players are being treated like, oh, please don't leave. What will we do without you? Like, I'm just, the moment it starts happening with a player, I almost want that player to leave. And I think Sir Alex Ferguson was the same. Like when David Beckham was too big, David Beckham left. When Cristiano Ronaldo actually wanted to leave, and what will we do without Ronaldo? Ronaldo left. And it just happens all the time. Wayne Rooney, like I think Sir Alex Ferguson was okay with Rooney leaving at some point. And that's fine. That's fine. And this is the same thing with the De Gea. I think is the same thing. I think the Bruno contract is an absolute disgrace. By the way, it just feels the same.
Yeah.
Like there's absolutely no reason. And if you think clubs are not coming for De Gea, I think even less clubs are coming for Bruno, because if you have a philosophy in place which would prevent you, like you said, Said, which would prevent you from going and getting David De Gea, I think the very same argument prevents you from going and getting someone like Bruno Fernandes, for example. So I don't like it when we have those players and the club is like, they don't want them to leave. They're both a financial asset, and what will we do without De Gea save? It doesn't work like that. Statman said it earlier. If you remove Ronaldo and David De Gea, we don't end up in the championship. It's just a different team. Something just different happens. Football doesn't work like that. And the moment a player becomes too important to the club and the fans, and they start defending them like that, and what would we do? What would we do without that player or this player? Just rings to me like, okay, maybe we have a problem here. Maybe we have a problem. And we have many problems. We do.
Absolutely. Who would you bring in, by the way? Who's your keeper that you would take over from David De Gea?
I don't know enough. I haven't watched enough goalkeepers to make an educated guess, let's say. So I don't think I'm in a position to make a good shout. Let's say I prefer not. I prefer not say something like I just don't know them enough. I haven't been watching goalkeepers, to be honest. So I just want someone new. I'll trust you guys.
When you look at it over his whole career, would you say David De Gea is a Premier League great? Would anyone say he's a Premier League great? David De Gea,
Yeah,
Premier League great.
I think he's a top class goalkeeper when it comes to making saves. It's just the problem is not the player himself. It's times are changing. There are players that were absolutely top quality like in 2007-8 and they can't be playing now, and vice versa. I just think it's not suitable for what we need and we want to do. So, but I think De Gea is a great goalkeeper and in a different era, making saves and maybe different systems and different teams. You can't find much better goalkeeper. Like you don't find many goalkeepers that are better than him at making saves. So yeah, I think he's a great one, 100%.
Absolutely. There we have it, people. We're going to wrap it up here, people. Thanks for everybody for coming on, people. Thanks to Statman Baines for coming on to the debate. Make sure you follow him, Statman Baines, on YouTube, on his socials. Make sure you follow Siyash. Siyash, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. SDSXMUFC. Make sure you check his art over there. And obviously, I'm the man Red on his Twitter. Big up to everybody who's tuned in. Like I said to you, you know what I mean, on a Friday night. Big up to every single one of you who are watching right now. Smash a like on the video. If you haven't liked the video already, now's your time to do so. It's free to do it, and it just helps us out on the algorithm. So please, guys, smash a like. Subscribe if you're new. Next week, we're going to talk about fullbacks, people. Fullbacks will be the issue. We'll talk about that next Friday, people. But for now, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. I will catch you soon. Take care.